We are just a couple miles east of the LAX airport, just off the 405 or the 105 at the beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Today, we start the new season with an AFC West Division battle right out of the gate between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. Dustin Hopkins about set to get us started, and off we go from SoFi Stadium. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
First carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On play action, now Carr. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early, but it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. On play action, it's Carr. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. DeAndre Carter back deep. This will be fielded at the 17. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. Well, just the last thing you want to see here in the first quarter of a new season. Hopefully nothing serious. We'll step aside for a moment. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's a 6-year man, Austin Eckler. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Herbert. Being chased out left. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Herbert able to show his wheels as he gets the first.
Give him a little extra credit there. His head was cool as the play broke down. Didn't force a throw, and in the end, got to show off his athleticism with a nice gain to bring up a new set of downs.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Herbert. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this one is incomplete.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here's Herbert. Caught by Allen. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll bring up 4th down. So Carr will depart, and on comes the Raider kicker Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 39. The kick by Carlson is good, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both these teams, I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
The Charger drive about to get going. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Scramble drill there, partner. Some teams have some pretty good rules for it. Others are just saying make sure you work your way back into the sight lines of your quarterback, even if you take the play deep. And that's what they attempted to do on that one, unable to connect.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack. Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. Fielded just inside the 20. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now Carr. Throw right side going to be caught by Waller. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Nothing after 1 on EA Sports. Second and 2. Running straight ahead is Jacobs, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. That one on the money to Bourne downfield. It's a big play there for Vegas. 59 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A chance for a 1st touchdown drive of the year. It's 1st and goal. Jacobs will score. Touchdown, Raiders. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. Still in the 1st half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. They started on the ground with Eckler. Room here to run. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that. The nickel look, 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
It was Anthony Averett who got him down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Escaping the pressure right. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the 2nd half of this contest.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Herbert now. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 25-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
Running on first down, Eckler. 45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. It's Eckler again. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get him the first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to get the football here at their own 23.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Got a man, it's Darren Waller. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Oh, looking for Waller, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Michael Davis. And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Bubba Bolden who picks it, and the Raiders will take over here just shy of the 30. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Well, he reminded us that he was a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago as he starts off week 1 picking up right where he left off. He told us at the end of the preseason he was primed for a big year. He just gave us excellent evidence of his belief.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw complete here to Waller. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. It's another first down as this time they get an even 20.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On first down, Carr. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
The Charger drive about to get going. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last two drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pick.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. On first down, Justin Herbert. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he returns this to the 22. The Charger drive about to get going. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Bubba Bolden who picks it. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Now a play fake. Carr. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Kendrick Bourne, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Raiders are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
81 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Once more, here's Eckler. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Herbert. And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. They'll run for it with Eckler. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And that will force a turnover on downs. Play action. Now it's Carr. Gets this to Waller on the crossing route. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he'll be out of bounds. That one good for 33 and a 1st.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Here's Jacobs, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 24. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Charger drive about to get going. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
On 3rd down, Herbert. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Anthony Averett picks it. And the Raiders are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. And just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception. And this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And now off to the races down the right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. And what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
And he's going to get in for the score. And the lead now cut to 14. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the pick 6 we just saw makes things a little more interesting. Still, though, a 2-possession game as they control their destiny in this 4th quarter.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line.
93.
Carr going to throw. Oh, the slant connects with Devontae Adams. Finding room at midfield. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. 48 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language.
And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Devontae Adams, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he's able to get this all the way to the 40 before going out of bounds.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. High throw, but the catch is made. From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Herbert. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Herbert caught left side, Williams. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
One-handed, love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a 1st down.
And he'll be the one in the film session.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Rock Ya-Sin. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Carr. Hit as he throws. He lost the football. It's loose. And picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. 92 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives,
let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. It's the former number 4 overall pick, Clelin Ferrell, that got him there to bring him down.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
He finds his target, Allen. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that left.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
Carr going to throw here. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
58 sacks and 4 Pro Bowls is a heck of a start for anyone's career, and that's exactly what Joey Bosa has done in his first 6 seasons in the NFL. He came into this league NFL ready, and it's only gotten better since.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. To throw his Carr. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Carr. That's caught by Waller out left side. He's got room at the 30, and he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout, and actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the 4th quarter is ours, and they certainly weren't kidding.
Here's Carr to throw. Out to Cole on the right side, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Keelan Cole, a 9-yard touchdown grab. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And the Raiders have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th. And that one's incomplete. 3 seconds left, and barring a penalty, this next play should be our last. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And that final kickoff concludes the ball game, partner, and one side a really nice win in this one. They were good on offense and on defense.
And I'm guessing in the other locker room, partner, the head coach is just telling this team, hey, we didn't play well enough to keep it close enough where that one possession